Because no two people are
Nelson reunion?
exactly alike. The new family of cars from Mitsubishi, built for living.
Doctors aren't all created from the same mold. They're as unique as the people they protect. Yet, as different as they are, they all have one thing in common. They want you to get better. Neighborhood health. It's time to get better.
Hurricane Lili on your screen right now, about 80 miles an hour the winds are, and you can see that you really can't see the island of Cuba anymore. They are just getting a downpour there at this particular time. We have tropical storm warnings for the Keys, and Cuba does have a hurricane warning in parts of the island.
Yeah, and we are about to see just how Cuba is going to have a tough time dealing with this, just like part of the state of Florida is. Not so much of what has caused this in terms of the hurricane, but some of the flooding that they have been getting there prior to this hurricane force winds. Officials are reporting some 20,000 people have been evacuated from their homes, the precaution being taken mainly in the Havana area where, well, most of the houses are already not in good condition. Strong winds and rain could cause some of these homes to collapse, but Cuban residents are doing all they can to prepare for this storm. 7's Lynn Gordon has been following the story from Havana, and I understand she's ready to join us from there. Lynn, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Rick.
What's the situation there now? Are you seeing an intensity now that you weren't seeing earlier as far as the winds and the rain?
Believe it or not, Rick, everybody's still bracing for this, and I think it's really the calm before the storm. We're waiting. As I mentioned before, it's been raining off and on throughout the afternoon and much of the evening here in Havana, but the rain has pretty much stopped for now. Interestingly enough, as far as preparations are concerned, you know, supplies are scarce and difficult to come by. A few people have been boarding up their homes, but most of the people have been taping their windows. Just a few minutes ago, a couple of people came into my hotel room and taped up the windows in my hotel room. Not a real comforting thought at this point. Also, Fidel Castro, we just saw him on Cuban television. He was at Havana's Weather Center, and earlier this afternoon, he had been briefed about the storm. Apparently, he was out of the country and just came back last night. Basically, he was just saying how important it is to get the information out to people, information about being prepared and what they should do. Castro also saying that he was very concerned about Lili hitting Havana in particular. As you know, most of the industry is here, 2.5 million people living in Havana, the center of the country. So no doubt, if Havana takes any kind of a direct hit, this would be an absolutely devastating blow.
Lynn, we had heard from some people saying that they were really upset that they were being asked to leave their homes that the officials were saying are simply not safe at this particular moment. Do most people seem to be willing to go to shelters, or are there a lot of people who would just rather stay put?
I think for the most part, people are going. There have been 1,000 schools that have been opened as shelters. Officials doing as much as they can, going around civil defense to some of the more dilapidated homes that they do not think can withstand this kind of wind and rain that Lili will bring, getting people to safe shelter, to higher ground in some of the coastal areas. But we have heard reports that there have been some people who are just refusing to go.
All right, Lynn Gordon following that story for us. She is in Havana, and Lynn, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something other than tape on your window. You might want to check for that.
Beatrice Canals also covering the story from the Bahamas. We're going to try to hook up with her a little later on, right after the baseball game, regardless of how late it goes tonight.
A lot more, though, on this special edition of 7 News, tracking Hurricane Lili.
When we come back, we're going to go back to the Hurricane Helpline, try to answer your many questions. The number is 305-756-2520. We'll be back.
This weekend, a gigantic art fair with the original works from over 100 struggling artists. Over 2,000 original oil paintings will be selling for under $20, including sofa-sized 24 by 36-inch paintings. Master charge, Bank Americard, personal checks accepted. Look how this 1995 original oil adds to this arrangement. A one-of-a-kind art fair.
This Sunday only, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Kindle, Dadeland, Marriott, Hialeah, Ramada Inn, Fort Lauderdale, Sunrise Hilton.
What's genuine? Desire to protect your family.
Chevy Cavalier at 12